Hello guys, thank you so much for joining me in today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I bleach my lace frontals. For this process, you're going to be needing your developer, your bleach, a mixing bowl, a tinting brush, you need a table knife, you need a weighing scale as well, your blow dryer, and of course your lace frontal or maybe a lace closure. Before I go ahead and start the process, I always like to do this. I usually blow dry the lace frontal from the lace. So the reason why I'm doing this is because if I go ahead and bleach my knot like that without doing this process, I find that sometimes the hair might be laying flat on the lace, from packing it from the factory. I don't know. If it feels like when you put the bleach on, the hair is laying flat, so you might end up bleaching the hair that you don't want to bleach. Just make sure you put your blow dryer on a medium heat, because you can risk frying your lace, especially if you're working with HD lace like mine. To avoid my bleach mixture from seeping through the lace, I always go with a ratio 1 to 1.5. And trust me, I achieve the best knots every time. No fail. If you stick to this ratio 1 to 1.5 every time, you're going to get the same results every time. I don't know if you can see the readings on my scale. The powder was at 14, and by the time I put my developer, it was reading 36. So if you do the math, that's ratio 1 to 1.5. I find if I do anything more than 1 to 1.5, it's about to be a disaster, and I'm about to go back into my frontal and start to paint the roots with a black dye. To avoid pressing too hard on your frontal, I usually use a table knife. Please don't be like me. If you have a plastic one, that would be better. This is just what I have. I finished using my plastic knife, and yeah. Anyway, make sure you don't press too hard, and by using a table knife, it's going to help you. It's basically like spreading butter on bread. So you can easily avoid pressing hard, and at the same time making sure you're getting the mixture well on the lace. Now, the same way you don't want too runny bleach, that's the same way you don't want too thick. Now, if your bleach mixture is too thick, one, the developer won't be enough they won't be able to process the knot. Two, if you try to paint your mixture on the lace, it won't stay on. Yeah, it won't stay on. It's gonna be rolling on the lace like a ball. Trust me, it can be very stressful and annoying. So it's very important to get your consistency right. Get your consistency right, and you won't have to worry about anything. Make sure you raise your lace up slightly around the hairline, and make sure you paint the hairline as much as you can, because that's the most visible area and you don't want to miss any spots, especially on the hairline. To achieve a more natural look on my frontal, I always like to twist the hairline slightly. Look at like that line of demarcation right there. I always like to eliminate it. That's the only thing I'm doing. As you can see, my frontals already come natural. You can really do without tweezing it, but to eliminate that line, that straight line, I always like to go in with tweezers. The rule of thumb with tweezing your frontal is try not to stay in one place for too much. In fact, don't tweeze one spot twice or 3 times. When you tweeze, move your hand to the next line. So you want to create like dips, not gaps. You don't want to create like a bald patch. You want to create like a dip. So once I'm done with the front line, I'm going to part the hair a little bit and walk inside the lace. And the reason why I'm doing this is because sometimes when you do the front, you still have more bulk. And if you continue tweezing the hair from the hairline, that's how you create gaps and bald patches. So don't be scared to lift the hair up and twist behind the hairline. By the time you brush down the hair, you will realize that it looks better that way. Another tip is when you're tweezing your frontal, don't pick the hair at the top. I don't know how to explain this. Make sure your tweezer is close to the lace as much as you can without pinching the lace, because there's a thin line between plucking your frontal and breaking the hair. So if you don't pick it from the root where the knot is, you're not going to be pulling hair out. You're just going to be breaking the hair in half. And what that is going to do is by the time you're done with your process, you're going to have short bits of hair sticking up. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the rest of the frontal, and that is it. We are done. I'm going to apply some mousse, set it down, and yeah, our frontal is ready to be used. I really hope you've learned a thing or two about bleaching your knots. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section and I'll definitely reply to it. I can't be the only one that finds mousse on wet hair so satisfying. I just love to comb it. It's just, it's just so satisfying. Yeah, I can't be the only one. Anyway, thank you so much for sticking to the end. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment in the section like I said earlier, and like this video for more content like this. And yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.